When you put a foundation for your business, a lot of the times you perform tasks manually, and your people too. It's simply because you don't have enough automation or processes in place. And what I see entrepreneurs do a lot of times is they jump into automating the workflow before they have proven processes in place. And today I want to cover why you can kill your business if you automate your workflows too early without systemizing your processes. To begin with, I want to give a very particular example, a very basic example of, let's say, scheduling meetings with your clients. Usually what happens when you begin is you do it via email or via chat, and it starts like an email crossfire when you're available or I'm here, but I'm here, what's the time zone, how to schedule, how about this time, no, I'm free, no, I'm busy. And this turns a simple thing to schedule a 30-minute call, this turns into a 40-minute activity for you and your counterpart. Now, when you see aspiring or first-time founder, what they do is, oh, let me just create a Calendly. I'll just throw a Calendly into them. The next thing you see is people booking you at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. because in a different region and because you didn't set the schedule when you're available. If this ever happened to you, make sure to like the video and share your story in the comments. What this means is you didn't put a lot of attention into the process. You just straight away automated. Here's the calendar, like, but you didn't think of what's the availability that I have. Should I configure the hours I'm available, like I usually do in emails? See, you didn't think of a process, how it happened before by hand, and you just automated it, skipped all the steps, and it turned out to be not working at all. This is a very straight, very basic example, right? In business, there are much more complex processes with multiple simultaneous tasks, workflows, branches, and if you do the same to those huge workflows, what you potentially create is enormous damage to your pipeline and to your efficiency as a result. So to begin with, my motto for today, I should say, is systemize before you automate. The simple way to create processes and make sure those are robust for your workflows before you put them into automation is writing down very specific steps on paper in a way that the new person can understand with whatever skills, of course. If it's in sales, there needs to be a salesperson that can understand what they need to do and execute exactly like you, or at least 80% of your efficiency. What that means is this process is replicable. It's not something attached to you or to any particular person. This is just a process that every person, every qualified person can follow. This way, you know this process is consistent because you can consistently reproduce it and get the same results each and every time. This is how the processes are created. And before you get this, I discourage you to actually put any automation, because what that means is you are basically delegating the process to a machine without giving it proper commands, which means it will consistently execute on this in the wrong direction. It's even more dangerous to delegate the processes, your tasks, to people without having the specific plan for that, because machine behaves the same time, in the same manner all the time. So it does the same mistake over and over again consistently. So you can see it and you can fix it quickly. With people, it works a bit differently. You see, we as a human tend to improvise, tend to each time try something new. Now, what that creates is even more inconsistent results, which brings a lot of problems. And the worst you can do as a leader is to blame that person that they underperform. You need to have, first of all, the leadership skills in place to coach the person and explain exactly what's wrong. Secondly, even beforehand, you need to have those steps one by one, because then it's a process. If the person underperforms, it's on the person. If the process is broken, the person has nothing to do with it. How do you think I know this? Of course, from my experience, and I've burned a lot of good relationships, a lot of good connections in the industry and even with my team members by not putting proper processes in place. What that causes is your whole organization, whole company to malfunction, to produce something that you didn't expect. Let's say, in my case, it might be a poor let's say, delivery outcome, put development performance, the first thing I want to do instinctively is to blame the person. Why are you doing this badly, right? But if you look deeply into this as a leader, you will see that actually the process that you've put in place for this person is not right, because they lack clarity, transparency on what to do next. And then, of course, they try to improvise. And because they don't have this experience that you have, they make mistakes. If you rewind back time, you'll remember that you also made mistakes, but now you're on a different level, and for some reason, you expect other people to catch up, to be the same level, without you explaining what to do. This is one of the huge mistakes which comes to the leadership issue, which is the whole separate topic for a new video. To summarize today's thoughts, to put a particular conclusion into what I'm trying to say to you today is, don't automate and delegate too early, because if you do this, it's equally risky than no delegation and automation at all. So make a rule that your process should work for you at least 5 to 10 times for you to consistently produce results. If you do it step by step, then you can try. Then you just can try to automate it, delegate, and see what you need to tweak to it and to make it really applicable to other people and systems. If you have a very particular story, a lack of processes, let's say, ruined your workflow, or instead brought clarity when you had proper steps by steps, let me know in the comments. If you're new to my content, welcome. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm posting relevant content to high-end entrepreneurs to plan, execute, and scale their SaaS business, as well as the leadership skills as well. Until next time, I'll see you in my next video.